Okay, class, so let's recap a little bit on those last few lessons. First, we did rhythm reading. We learned rhythm, we learned note values, and we actually made our own rhythmic patterns based off of those. Then we went to melody and pitch, and we actually created our own melodic pattern based off of our rhythmic pattern. We built on top of that, okay? Then we added articulation and dynamics to our compositions, making them much more musically expressive to bring out a certain emotion, whatever emotion we wanted to feel within our groups. This last one we're going to do is we're going to add lyrics to our songs, okay? So, now, I guess I kind of answered my own question here, but when you think of strictly instrumental music, and you think of vocal music, what differences come to mind?
Words.
Words, exactly. Okay, a really obvious one, words. Now, it doesn't mean that one is more expressive than the other, does it? Okay, what are some ways that you could say, in a sense, and sometimes instrumental music can do things that vocal music can't. What are some ways we can do that? Do you understand what I'm saying?
So you mean like with vocal music, because there are words, there's more room for interpretation in terms of text?
Yeah.
It can kind of inspire feelings, thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing, whereas with instrumental music, because there are no words, it's a little bit more difficult to assume what the composer was thinking other than from their theory.
So I'm going to bounce off that point right there. You brought up an excellent point. So let's say we're talking about Mozart, right? And we have his piece of music. Mozart, both vocal and instrumental music. So let's say we're delving into it and we listen to a sheet of music. Do we ever know what the composer was thinking? No, right? Because they're dead. And also, even if they are alive, unless we get to go and have the rare chance of going and talking with the composer, we don't know what the composer is thinking. So there's no real, there's no real point, I guess you could say, or not even real point. There is you can guess all you want on what the composer was trying to think. Now, I think what a better way to think about that is to think about what is appropriate for the piece. And the composer could definitely be thinking about what's appropriate for the piece, you know what I mean? So in that sense, yes, what is most important? So, but also that can differ from person to person too. I can think, well, this piece should be bigger, because I'm thinking this is really bringing out this emotion. When this other person says, no, I think this piece needs to be a smaller, more intimate piece because I think it's bringing out this emotion. And both people are right. And both people are doing what they think is most appropriate for the piece, or in a sense, thinking about what the composer was thinking. So yeah, absolutely. That brings me on a whole other tangent. But it's another lesson. Great job though, absolutely. So, what are some of the ways lyrics can inspire the way we write music? Yeah.
Just the words, it's not like emotional words, like up here in the D series, wrath, doom, they have heavy meanings.
Yeah.
Some words have more meaning than others.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
Create that, and it allows the composer to create a sound, a chord that
Yeah.
matches the meaning of that word.
Absolutely, yeah, perfect. We also, another term for that is called word painting. Word painting. Basically, create like painting with music to represent the words that are being said, okay? Perfect. Now, let's take a look at this. This is Dies Irae. This is from the Requiem. Every Requiem has the Dies Irae in it. And so we're going to look at the text, okay? I want you to take a minute and read this text. I'm going to ask you what things come to mind, okay? So these two sections right here. I'll go ahead and actually I'll just read it out loud just so everybody can hear it. Day of wrath and doom impending, David's word with Sybil's blending. Heaven and earth in ashes ending. Oh, what fear man's bosom rendeth, when from heaven the judge descendeth. on whose sentence all depended. Okay. Kind of a little bit vague, but what ideas or pictures or colors or anything that comes to mind? It could be musically, it could be, like I said, visually, anything. Yeah, Barbara.
Day of Judgment.
Day of Judgment? Because this is talking about the Day of Judgment when, in the Christian faith, Jesus comes back to earth, and God comes back to earth to basically judge everyone. Yeah.
It sounds really intense, I guess.
Yeah, very intense. Yeah, absolutely. So that brings out feelings of intensity.
Mhm.
Do we have anything different, you think, with that? We're all kind of feeling this intense, maybe? Yeah? What about the term ashes ending? What physical things come to mind? What do you think they mean by ashes ending? Fire, okay? Perfect, yeah. So now, if we're thinking about ashes ending, okay, we're thinking about fire. What's some stuff musically? Knowing what we've done in the past, knowing about melody, knowing about rhythm, knowing about all that stuff. You have an early dismissal, that's cool. I'll see you later.
See ya.
Know about all that different stuff. What are some things we can do musically to bring about the term fire? Yeah,
It could maybe, depending on how far you use, get louder.
okay. Yeah, like a fire growing in intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah.
Rhythmically, it can be a very fast movement.
Okay.
Like more 8 notes and 16 notes. Just
Right.
Kind of full
Like flames of fire.
control.
Perfect. Yeah. Josh, you got anything to add, you think?
I agree with both of them.
Yeah.
I also think that even with fire, it says ashes ending, so
Mhm.
it's kind of like, because we have fire and fire turns things into ash, but it says like the ending ash, so maybe it's also like talking about after it's the aftermath of what's
Perfect.
happened.
Yeah.
So it could also be something that's also quieter, something that's ending, something that's slower.
Yeah.
In the piece.
Maybe a little more austere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reflective. You see how that right there? Both interpretations of the text were absolutely right, but both people had two completely different musical ideas with it. So, now we're going to play an example, and I want you to think in your mind. I want you to just think about it, let whatever comes to mind, colors, pictures, whatever. And I want you to, afterwards, we're just going to talk about it and see what Mozart did musically and how that brought out different pictures in your mind. Okay, so we're gonna pause it right there because there's a little bit of a repeat after that. So, what things were brought to mind? Yeah.
It was kind of like a simultaneous strong downbeat that was just like dun, 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 but at the same time the strings were running, lots of running notes, kind of that, almost that fiery.
Yeah, absolutely. I almost think based off of what you just said, like it could also mean that in a sense something is coming and it's steadfast and it's coming and it's everything else scattering in front of it. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, Michael?
I guess, like, heavy things felt heavier, like when they kind of hit the notes there.
Right.
Like it was cause that more kind of like I was saying
Now
earlier.
describe heavier. What do you mean? What do they do musically to make it feel heavier?
Instead of like D, S, E, Re, more like D, S, E, Re.
So they like accented each beat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. What are some other like musicality things that happen in this that you think brought out certain images in your mind? Yeah?
Use some chromatic scales of
Yeah,
kind of
right,
heighten the intensity.
right, absolutely.
Between each of the choruses.
Chromatic scales, this kind of winding kind of feeling, yeah, absolutely. One thing that kind of came to my mind too is there's this one part in there that goes where the basses and tenors go, quantus tremor exultur, and it feels like, to me that just feels, has this big sense of, not dread, but just kind of this overwhelming shaking feeling, making me very nervous. Great, so now at this time, we're gonna add, you guys are gonna choose a source for your lyrics. It could be anything. It could be made up. It could be written your own poem. It could be poetry from somebody. It could be already a song. You're just taking the lyrics from that song and adding it to your composition. It could be anything, okay? And you guys are gonna write lyrics, and I want you to pick lyrics that fit the overall feeling of your composition, okay? And I want you to be able to defend why you picked those lyrics and what you did musically with that, okay? Great, let's start on that.